Hello, all, and welcome to this Saturday afternoon review. And you may be asking, why am I doing? I said I was going to go and do one review, and here I am doing another review. I finished work, and tomorrow's another work night. So why am I reviewing? Usually, I don't drink at all on work nights. Well, one, I came home and my computer wouldn't boot up. It's been having that intermittent problem. And all I know from like most of the codes that most of the online sites that say for like the beep code checks when there's no post, it's like it's a memory problem. So after sitting and thinking, I remember, oh yeah, I have a RAM stick around here somewhere, and I tried putting that in. That didn't work. So I put my old one back in, and lo and behold, it started up again. So I'm going to have to cancel that technician call that I made for Monday. But that's it. Ain't no thing. It ain't no thing. So I am well chuffed at my very untechnical ass having solved a technical problem of that minor yet still impressive for me caliber. And also tonight, beer that I'm going to be reviewing is light. So I got this, and I forgot that I reviewed this back in 2020, July of 2020, and I wasn't impressed with it back then, and I'm not impressed with it now. But I figured I might as well go to it and just do it again. So this is 4.9 ABV from Kona Brewing. It's My Time Island Wheat. Let's read the back. Take your time. Days end at Ka'anapali. Uh, I can go and show you it now since it wants to go. Oh, now it wants to look at my face, yeah. Ka'anapali brings a calm energy that sends any tensions out with the tide. Take your time with this balanced island wheat beer brewed with real pineapple, orange, and lime. The perfect beer for a perfect pauhana. One life, right? So 4.9 ABV. Very light, very sessionable. And for the humid, hot hurricane weather we have now, well, tropical storm weather. There's tropical storm passing about 300 miles to the south, so it's dumping a whole bunch of humidity into the islands right now. Not in any danger of storming, just some rain and lots of hot, humid heat. So, pouring out. A slightly cloudy straw yellow, nicely carbonated, with a fluffy white head. That smells lightly of fruit and wheat malt. Maybe just a touch of bittering hops for aromatic hops. But indistinguishable otherwise. Again, very subtle, very mild. Oh, onto the palate now, shall we? Just realized my camera's crooked. It fell off while I was fixing my computer, so there we go. So professional, these reviews, yeah? So, onto the palate now, shall we? Hey, Pete, where's the flavor? So, it is light to the point of being insubstantial. Up front, brief hop bitterness. Very brief, very light. Then the sort of fruitiness kind of comes in. With the citrus and pineapple being kind of equal there. And then in the midst towards the finish, hints of the malt, which reminds you that it is a wheat beer and not your standard malt bill. But other than that, yeah, there's very little evidence of the wheat here, which is disappointing. I was hoping for, could stand having very little fruit presence from, the fruit adjuncts, but having so little of the malt and not having much hops either, you know, you're just kind of left with something that is mildly refreshing, mildly flavorful, but I mean, if you give this to a macrolager drinker, it'd probably be a craft beer they wouldn't find objectionable just because it is, well, I wouldn't say clean because, there's still that wheat and funk in the finish, but the flavor is just so light. Goes down very easy. Of course, at a 4.9, why wouldn't it? So light in the body that there really isn't much of a top note, just a slight amount of citrus in the top note. I'm thirsty because I was working on my computer, which is sweaty work in this weather. And yeah, it warms up. Fruit is becoming more apparent in the midst to finish. But again, still very light, very indistinct. Oh boy, this camera. You always wonder why. I need to go and get this turned. Oh, and now my monitor turned itself. Oh, there we go. Okay. So professional. Hmm? You can tell. Like, my monitor, I used to have another monitor. It broke. It was like a TV screen that I got off of like a weird / computer repair place that's not my regular one, that also seemed to be this guy who had a hoarding problem. And I bought like a television / monitor off of him. It broke. Going back to my old one, which miraculously started to work again. But the problem is that there's no way to control any of the brightness or dimness. And because it was one of those touchpad ones and touchpad thing didn't broke, I had to go and pop it to go and change it. And I was never able to get it to pop back shut again. So I have a split open monitor. 10-year-old webcam here. This webcam is from 2010, which kind of explains the quality of my video. And of course, my Frankenstein computer from 2011. True Ship of Theseus. I don't think any of the parts other than the actual case it resides in is still original. Really should just go and get a new computer, period. Oy, this thing. Anyways, back to the beer. My Time Island Wheat. I mean, if you're in the mood for the macrolager version of a fruited wheat ale, you can't go much more than this. It's light, it's refreshing, it don't got much taste. End of story. That's what your thing is. I mean, and I know there's quite a few people out there. I mean, that's what macrolagers are for. This is still an ale, but still not much in the way of body or flavor. But yeah, it's a spot after you're hot and whatnot. Well, I'm not hot temperature-wise. Like most of Europe out here and Japan, pretty much all of Eurasia right now is undergoing a heat wave. Going to eschew making a political comment at this point because there's enough of that in the world as it is, and not enough good beers. My reviews are becoming less reviews at this point and more just me ranting about various topics or talking about my life, isn't it? But you know what? 140 subscribers can't be wrong. Somebody actually is watching me. I have no idea why, but thank you for doing so. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell. I don't know, whatever. Engagement. I'm not monetized and I never will be able to monetize. I'm a booze channel. They don't let us monetize. You know that? Did you know that? That us booze channels are, if are not allowed to monetize, even if we are popular? Go figure, yeah? But anyways, that is your beer review for this Saturday afternoon. I'm gonna have maybe one or two more because, like I said, I'm not really feeling this. And then have dinner. And that, folks, is your beer review. Cheers.